It just works. Hello everyone, welcome back to Motion RC. I'm James with another quick tip, and today we're going to be talking about control surface deflection and how you get the proper rates on any RC model and the tool that's going to best help you get the job done, and that is the Benchcraft control surface deflection meter. So now, as you can see, the point of this deflection meter, it has two arms. Basically, this is going to help you set the proper throws on all your control surfaces, whether it's an aileron, flap, rudder, elevator, what have you, it doesn't matter. This thing will help you get the job done because as most manuals, as you'll see here for the Freewing manual, they will give you a rates page and they'll show you what the high rate should be and the low rate should be, and for the most part they tend to do it in millimeters. So having a deflection meter like this that has millimeters on it makes it much easier for you to get those proper throws set in your transmitter before you go out and fly. But also on the back portion, it does have inches as well. So if you have a manual that is using inches, that's fine. You could just take out these two screws and flip over the meter, which is awesome. So you have options there with this awesome little tool. So let's get started and show you how to use it. So now the first thing you want to do, obviously you want to have all your control surfaces trimmed out to center position when you set up the model in order to get started here. But then you want to set your deflection meter. It's got nice foam pads. It's not going to affect your model. And you're going to place it over. So we're going to start here with the ailerons on the F-18. And you see I've placed it to the point where that 0 is centered on the control surface. And it's about as close as possible to the surface itself so we could get the best proper measurement. Now that your meter is in place, now you will have already set up and centered out your servos at this point. So now you know you haven't set up rates in your transmitter yet, so you're going to get full throws from the aircraft servos, especially on the aileron here. So when I move the aileron, you see my high rate, that's pointing to about 32. What I do is I take the center part, because even the trailing edge of your control surface is going to be a little fat, so I go by the center of the control surface and what millimeter it's pointing at. So that's about 32. And in the book, as you can see here, the rates for the F-18, the recommended, the high rate is 32 millimeters and the low rate is 26 millimeters. So if you see, I've already set up this model. When I go into a lower rate, that's about 26 millimeters. That's where I want to be. And then the beauty of this too is you can add, I always like a third rate, and we could do a whole tip video on rates and what they mean. That's not the purpose of this video, but I add an even lower rate. Just to be safe, I always like to have the option of a really low rate. So that's about 22 millimeters that you see here. Now, in essence, the beauty of this control surface meter is you could move it then to your flaps, to your rudder, and do everything. But one more quick tip I want to show you is when you're dealing with an aircraft that has full flying stabs like the F-18. So if I slide this over, you will see full flying stabs. There is nowhere that you're going to be able to use this deflection meter. Let me slide this off. You can't really place it anywhere on, on the aircraft because the whole stab itself moves. There's nowhere to put it. But that's the beauty of these two screws. We could take these screws out, and I'll show you real quick how we can use it on your full flying stabs. So since you have the ability to remove the meter for a full flying stab, the best thing you can do is get a little hinge tape and tape it to the side of the full flying stab. Again, you always want to measure all your control surfaces closest to the fuselage. So we just taped it along the back. We have it zeroed out. And as you can see, in my low rate, I'm about at 30. And then I'm about 36, which is where the elevator should be based on the manual of the F-18. And I also, since I always go 3 positions in my rates, I added a super high rate just to have it there, just in case. So opposite of ailerons. Ailerons, I always want a third rate to be even lower than the book lows, but in the elevator, I always want a rate to be higher than the book highs. But you can see it's very easy to measure when you have this awesome tool, and it can be used on all your control surfaces, guys. So I would say pick one up. The link is in the description of this video. Links to anything we use in the description of our videos. If you have any questions or comments, guys, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them all. And as always, guys, thanks for watching Motion RC, and we'll be back with another quick tip.